Tomorrow, your final home game. How are you processing what I'm assuming to be a lot of emotions at this point?
Yeah. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm trying to just take it all in. I know it's such a special moment, so I do want to take the time to reflect and to kind of let it all wash over, but I'm also trying to stay focused for the game and do all the preparation and everything. I'm really excited though. I mean, obviously we're in a playoff push and it's an important game. I feel like that honestly makes it a little bit easier. There's so much to play for, but also it's going to be, just an incredible atmosphere. There'll be a big crowd, and yeah, looking forward to putting on a good show.
Something you said in the press conference was really interesting to me, that the national team goodbye was saying goodbye to an institution, but this feels like you're saying goodbye to your family. Is that an accurate way to describe the entire situation?
Yeah, I think so. I think just playing with the same people in the same place, living here, growing up here, maturing here, obviously playing with Jess and Lou, being coached by Laura for so long, having the Predmores own the team for so long. It is a really, special home for me. Obviously the national team is, incredible and has been there the entire time as well, but this just is something a little bit different and just hits my heart in a little bit different way.
How do you reflect on the impact that Seattle has had in your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's a place, we talked about in the press conference, I didn't want to come. I went to school in Portland. I just bought a house in Portland. My twin sister still lives in Portland. So it felt like that was where I wanted to kind of put my roots down. But, life's going to life. So that's not how it happened. And I think just immediately I felt at home in the city, obviously welcomed by the city, but, the way that we've sort of made this city our home as a club, while I made it my home just as a person, was really special. And obviously now I've been here, 10, 11 years. I think I'll always, call this little part of the world home for sure.
I think it was a relationship that you got a lot out of and the people of Seattle got a lot out of. How do you wrap your mind around the positive influence you've had, specifically with the Reign? Like Laura talked about, when you started here, you didn't have anything in terms of, facilities, infrastructure, and thanks to you, it's now better than what it was when you started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think in so many ways, I've given to Seattle just as much as Seattle has given back to me. And I know this is the end of my career here, but I feel like it's just the beginning in so many ways. I'm still going to be coming to the games and being involved in some sort of way, not just here, but obviously we talked about going to the Storm games or, being involved in just sports in general in the city. So, yeah, it just feels like something that as I grew, it grew. And obviously the fandom around our team and the support around our team. That's something that I'm really proud of and really looking forward to, continuing to grow in the future, but also just knowing that we really set up a foundation, by the end of my career that's put the club in a position where it can really grow now.
How much joy does it bring you that you are leaving women's soccer overall, both in Seattle and across the country, in a better place than what it was when you started?
A lot of joy. I think through a lot of struggle, I think that's how we've kept our sanity, is through the joy and just realizing what a beautiful game this is and what an amazing opportunity, so many players of my generation have had to put their mark on the game. But yeah, it's something I'm so proud of. I feel like, I don't know if I want to have kids, but if I ever have kids, those will be the stories that, I tell them, just how much it changed and how much we believed in it and how much we were able to kind of by our own force of will make the game a better place than it had been before.
Why is now the right time for you to step away?
I'm old, man. I'm getting old. It's hard. I feel like, mind, body, soul, it just feels like the right time. I feel like I've given it, everything that I have. It's definitely a young woman's game for sure. So I'm feeling it in the legs a little bit. But yeah, I just feel at peace. It's not like I've won everything every single year, but I've been really lucky to win a lot and to have a lot of really amazing moments, and to struggle and come back from those and feel like I've really kind of squeezed all the lemon out of this, all the juice out of this lemon, and I'm excited for what's next, because like I said, it feels like it's just the beginning.
How excited is Sue for you to now join her in retirement?
Yeah, I think she's really excited, honestly. She's had a few solo trips or things that I couldn't go to because I'm still playing. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to having our schedules be our own and be able to sync those up a little bit better.
I remember we talked at the start of the season and you said you were really jealous of her, that you know she had settled into retirement and it wasn't quite there yet for you. What is next? Like, have you begun to wrap your mind around the projects you want to tackle, the issues that you want to, take a big, leadership role in, just making sure that they're seen through until the end? Have you begun to think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited about what is coming next. I have an amazing partnership with Nike that'll go, well beyond obviously the last playing days, which are coming soon. Really excited to continue that and just continue to kind of shape the way and change the way that women athletes and female athletes are seen and viewed and marketed and branded. Sue and I obviously have a production company, A Touch More, together. We're both really excited to be able to get more into that now that we both have more time, and see what kind of projects we can get off the ground. And I think just in general, like, I'm really interested in being, continuing to be, I feel like, one of the architects of this new phase of women's sports. So much more investment, so much more attention on us, and it needs to be done thoughtfully, and it needs to be done by people, I feel like, who know it and who can articulate it and speak to it in a very real and personal way. And I feel like I'm perfectly situated to do that. So, whether that's getting involved in club ownership or even beyond that into the business side, I'm really looking forward to continuing to throw this weight around.
In the press conference, you touched on equal pay, LGBTQ plus rights. One thing I did want to ask, though, is you were, I think, the first, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the first athletes to show solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. It might have been hard and unpopular at the time, but in your heart, why did you know it was something that you had to do?
I think it just, and still to this day, I think it's just the right thing to do. Just hearing at the time, Cap speak about it, and the way that he was able to so clearly kind of cut through everything and just say, like, this is happening in our communities. We need help, we need support, we need that allyship. And having gone through the experience of coming out and knowing what it's like to ask people for their allyship and their support, I just felt like this is a no-brainer. And, we were seeing obviously the cell phone footage and, murder after murder and police brutality. And, I thought Cap gave us this really brilliant, easy way to articulate what he was saying with just an action, and that was the kneeling. I wish that more athletes would have done it at the time. I think it could have been even more powerful, but I think he changed the world and changed the narrative forever in that, and it just felt like not only just a responsibility, but it felt just like an easy thing to do in allyship, to bring people from maybe my part of the world, or not just white people, but bring soccer in and bring a different type of person in to continue the conversation and to continue to educate people and continue to bring light on these issues that have been happening for so long.